DJ Buzz.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, for those of you who are joining for the first time or watching for the first time, Keeping Score is a business podcast. We talk about entrepreneurship, um, and it just started. This is the fourth episode. I decided I'm going to start going live every day at 6 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Central. We're located in Chicago, so this is what you're going to get. For the most part, this is a brand new show, but the thoughts, the ideas, the concepts have been sitting with me for a while. So I want to be able to have these conversations with the intent that it's about holding yourself accountable. If you're going to start a business, if you're going to push forward, it's about keeping score and holding yourself accountable. So you can expect that I'll be here every day at 5 a.m. Central, 6 a.m. Eastern. So in the previous episodes, we talked about the idea of how to plan your 24 hours. I think if you're going to start a business, if you're going to get into entrepreneurship, you have to learn how to take full control of your 24 hours. And so these Saturday sessions, I'm going to really kind of use those as like whiteboard sessions. I won't prepare an entire show. I'll take questions if they come. Certainly, I'll respond to the comments as much as possible. But y'all bear with me because my team that was assisting me throughout the week, they are off on the weekends, and then more importantly, I'm still new to this. But we're gonna do our best. We're gonna, as I say, build it as we go, or what is it? Build it as you fly. So we're gonna do that. It's all good. Saturday morning. Hope y'all up. If you're not up, it's time to wake up. It is time to wake up. I'm trying to handle business. I got the backdrop, new backdrop going on. We're gonna see how it goes. So every day I'm gonna make slight changes, slight improvements to make sure that I'm giving y'all the best show, giving y'all the best content, and then also bringing y'all the best version of myself at the time, because I'm learning, I'm growing still. All right, and as I say on every show, this is y'all's show just as much as it is my show. So let's go ahead and just make sure, if y'all got some feedback for me, if y'all want to get y'all thoughts off, I'm gonna see if I think y'all can put the comments in. I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna see. Let me see if I can get these comments up. Or at least drop the do do do. Mm-mm-mm. Let me put the comments. So I'm gonna put the link in the description. 1 second. All right. Do do do. So I'm gonna drop the link. If anybody wants to join, has some feedback they want to do from a business standpoint, feel free to add that. Let me see. Mm-mm-mm. All right, so we're gonna rock out with that. I don't know how to add the for you to join, but needless to say, if you got any comments, throw it in the comment section. Even post production, I'll respond to it. So let's kind of get into it here. The idea of planning your 24 hours. Let me share my screen over here because it's critical. It is critical. Let me share it out. And really, why I get excited about the weekend, because at the end of the day, on the weekend is when you really making up some ground. The weekend is when you can really start to. All right, let's see here. All right, so the weekend is pretty much when you're able to say, all right, I'm next week, I'm gonna be able to do X, Y, and Z, right? And from a business standpoint, your mind should always be trying to figure out how to get the most out of your business, how to be able to grow your business, whatever the case may be. But knowing how to use these 24 hours, especially throughout the week, is going to be critical. So, as I was mentioning, 24 hours. You want to plan your 24 hours down to a T. And we're used to. Let me say this. First of all, if you start your business, don't quit your 9 to 5. You're gonna have enough variables when it comes to the different nuances that business brings, the different things that customers or vendors bring. You don't need to quit your job. You need to have some stability. All right, some stability. Keep your job as long as you can. It's going to be a long time before you say, okay, the job is no longer serving me. That's from a benefit standpoint. That's from just a consistent direct deposit standpoint. Keep your job. But what you got to figure out how to do is how to work around those hours that your job needs you. So here's how I break down my 24 hours. Now, I run a handful of businesses, let me say that. And it's critical that I figure out how to get the most out of my day. And I gotta, if you're joining from Kyle's Club, we're a family of 7. So we got 5 kids. I got my wife. And it's like everybody wants some of your time. And so that's fair, but you also want to make sure you're giving your best. All right, so let's go ahead and say 24 hours. You got 24 hours in the day, right? Let me get this big. Now, to me, to really grow and scale your business, you need to give yourself the best opportunity to show repetition, right? So do the things that are good consistently. That's where you're gonna really see the growth. So first thing I'm considering, and I'm looking at, we'll build this out, is let's do bullets. How many hours do I need to sleep, right? I always say, if you don't have a lot of money, you got time, right? So time is going to be the thing you need to leverage. And what I found, the best way to figure out how to get more time working on your business, and there's a difference between working on your business and working in your business, right? So what you want to be able to figure out is how many hours should you sleep? So this is how I determine it. And this is just me. Y'all can take it or leave it. So you got to sleep, right? I say sleep equals, look at the digits in your bank account. Those digits let's say bank account. Those digits in your bank account should determine the level of speed, how hard you go, because at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to grow, right? We're not doing this for a non-for-profit business. We're not doing it from the standpoint of being able to just look good. No, you're trying to grow your business. So if you're trying to grow your business, you will have to do some things that's a little difficult. So, for example, if let's say you got $1,000 in your bank account. Let me write this out just in case. This in bank account equals hours of sleep. 24-hour breakdown. It's like the longest title. All right, when starting, I'm trying to give it to y'all straight. All right, so 24-hour breakdown on time usage when starting a business. All right, so you want to figure out how much you need to sleep, right? So you want to present your best self. So functionally, how much can you exist? How much sleep do you need to be able to function correctly? Now, I've always said, look, the digits in your bank account should be the hours of sleep. So if you got $10 to your name, if you have $10 to your name, sir or ma'am, you have earned 2 hours of sleep, right? And that seems extreme, but in reality, It's like, hold on, you got $10. Anything can happen. You need to be out there trying to figure out how can I get some more Uber rides? How can I get some more something, right? Like you need to try to press forward and get out of that tight situation. And everything you do hours wise ain't gonna be going towards your business, right? Some of it is simply just making sure you maintain a certain level of lifestyle so you can be able to chase some of these goals. So look at your bank account. Determine if you have 10 hours. I mean, if you have $10 in your bank account, you get 2 hours, right, of sleep. But let's say you have, you know, $1,000. And this is really after you're done paying all your bills, right? Like, because even if you got bills to pay, that's not really you holding it, but it's not your money. It is not your money. All right. And this is, like I said, this is when you're trying to start a business. You want to be a bit on the extreme side. And I'm showing you guys what I do so you can decide if it's for you or not. But the idea of me coming on live, doing these is really to, you know, so you can baseline expectations and say, look, have I been doing these things consistently? And if you haven't been doing it consistently, I mean, within reason, you shouldn't necessarily expect certain results, right? And so I'm starting this business out. This is one of my ventures I'm doing, and I'm going to show you guys in real time what's the results, how consistent I've been. You'll see I've been consistent. I'm going to keep joining in the morning so y'all can really get the breakdown. But okay, so when it comes to sleep, that's where you have to start, right? How many hours of sleep do I need? Now, in most cases, I mean, you probably like 4 hours is like, it's not a lot of sleep. But you're also putting in there, okay, I'm gonna take a nap. I'll take a nap throughout the day if I have to, right? So I put in my schedule, take naps. And that allows for me to, like, I'll take at least one nap, 30-minute nap throughout the day, because that'll allow for me to at least reboot and get some of that juice back. All right, so we got the sleep down. So let's go with the idea that maybe most people have 4 digits in their bank account. All right, so we down to 20 hours. We got 20 hours. We down to 20. We down to 20 hours. All right. So we got 20 hours remaining. So, all right, so if you got 20 hours remaining, what are you going to do with those next 20? I'm assuming most people, all right, most people have a 9 to 5. All right. If you don't have a 9 to 5, then that's great. But let's assume you got something to do consistently. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you have other responsibility that's your primary, right? Primary responsibility at the time. And so let's give that 8 hours, right? So if you're doing a 9 to 5, 9 to 5, let's do 9. Let's do 9 hours. Take into account travel time, all that good stuff. All right, so 9 hours. And honestly, this is the thing. I'm gonna speak to my men for a minute. If you are a husband, or if you're a man, you got a household to maintain. It's critical. It is critical that you make sure this is consistent, right? Whatever your primary responsibility is, job, if you a Uber driver, right? Don't let you can't let this kind of fade, right? You got to at least, like I say, level the ship. Make sure at the end of the day this doesn't slip, because if this starts to slip, then nobody really trying to hear about what you're doing from a business standpoint, right? It's all about giving your best version in each of these areas, right? Because when it comes to starting your business, it should add to you, really. It's going to be hard, but it should give you a different dynamic to yourself, right? It should be you bringing a vision forward that you was thinking about, that you was dreaming about, and every day you're trying to figure out how to execute it. And so what you're trying to do is figure out how many hours can I pull from this or pull from that. So this is kind of my breakdown of how you go about doing it. All right, so let's give 9 hours for, let's say, let me use my, all right, so maybe you're a homemaker, all right? But here you want to make sure you dedicate the correct time and the correct energy, right? So that's the next thing. So let's highlight 4 hours here. And then let's highlight 9 hours. All right. So we got the 9 hours we're going to dedicate. So we down to 11 hours. All right. All right, so you gotta, and let me change this color real quick so we can really see how we transition it. I ain't a fan of that. Let's see. All right, that's cool. All right, so you're down to 11 hours, right? So hold on, wait. Let me see. All right, 24 hours. Take 9 hours. All right, so yeah, you're down to 11 hours. Now, at this point, you've determined how much you're going to sleep. You determine how much time you need to dedicate to your normal job, right? And this is the thing this going to give you balance, right? So I got my sleep. I'm taking care of business at work. We good. The things are taken care of for the most part. But now you also got your business you're trying to work on. You got your family, right? You got your spouse. All these things need attention. And you got to, at this point, you got to start to prioritize, right? You got to start to say, all right, what needs or requires the most time? You still have 11 hours, right? And for me, these 11 hours are critical, but it all depends on when and where you spend them, right? So next thing, and this is going to be different. Like if we're talking about for women versus men, like if you're the primary caretaker, it probably looks a little different. But let's go ahead and assume that we're going to do your business next. All right, so business. So the reason that we're here, right? We're trying to grow this business. This business been on your mind. You haven't given it its right attention, but you about to start doing that now, right? All right, so when it comes to your business, I said like you should try to get at least 3 hours a day, and hopefully 4 to work on your business and work in your business, right? So let's see. Let's go ahead and say work on your business. So these are two completely different things, right? Working on your business, make that bold, and then working in your business. When we talk about hours breakdown, ideally, you give 2 hours a day here. 2 hours to work on your business, and then 2 hours to work in your business. And again, we trying to grow this, right? Like you trying to grow your business from scratch. You gotta think about the vision, but then once you think about the vision, you gotta spend time trying to execute it, right? So working on your business is the administrative stuff. That's like, hey, let me make sure I have proposals. Let me make sure I have the website set up. You want to make sure that the things that the world sees of your business are polished and maintained. And at the very beginning, you're not going to have a team to help you. You're not going to have somebody like an administrative assistant because you're trying to keep your actual overhead low, because once you start taking on expenses, that's when it puts pressure on these other things, right? Pressure on being able to make more money, right? So this is, let me say, this is stable income. Like if you don't have a stable, let me say this. As a man, I didn't start my businesses until I at least had stable income, right? A stable 9 to 5, something that was able to maintain the bills, right? Because the worst thing you want to do is start a business and depend on that business to feed the family, right? To pay the bills, because it makes you start cutting corners. And I've been there. I'm talking from experience. I didn't always do it the right way, but the idea of being able to grow your business and almost in like an incubator type of way, right? It's protected. You not like you should be like. There's a saying that a coach, historic coach, Coach John Wooden, said, "Be in a hurry, but don't rush." Right. So you want to make sure that you're giving it its correct level of effort, correct level of pace, but don't skip the idea of having a stable income. Because if you don't got no stable income, none of this other stuff matters, right? So get a stable, make sure your income is stable, because once you get down to this business step, oh yeah, you want to throw everything you can at it. All right, so 2 hours working on the business, right? So working on the business, that's setting up the website, that's making sure you got the proposal set up and so forth. That's being able to send emails. That's like putting together the steps. And I'm assuming, like, let's say this, if you are starting a business and you are this is your first business, you don't have a whole lot of money to start, you want to get in the service industry, and it should be a service that you can provide, right? You don't necessarily want to start a business that's going to require you. Let's say you do a candle business and you gotta have $1,000 of candles prior to selling it, right? You don't want to have to buy a bunch of inventory. When I started my first business, which was in IT security, I just bought a $75 laptop, and that was the main thing, right? Had the $75 laptop. I was just looking to basically justify that $75 laptop, and things was tight at the time. Things was super tight, and I had did it all the way backwards. I talked about it on, I think, episode 2 or episode 3. I had quit my job, and I was at the point to where I quit my job. Money was funny, and I'm talking about buying a laptop, right? But I had to, because I was like, that's the only real reason, or the real way I can start to run this business. So I bought the laptop, but I wasn't buying a ton of inventory, because once you start having to get those expenses, it then pulls from the primary responsibility, which is the stable income, right? So be cognizant of what business you start. In the business I started, it wasn't my dream business. It was the business that I was just doing that because I had the skill set, right? The job I had quit, I was just like, I'm gonna do that for myself. The same thing I'm doing for somebody else, I'm gonna do it on my own. And so that was the first business, and honestly the most successful business, because I had the skill set. So like when we talk about working on your business, that's something most people can do. They can set up a website. There's a lot of different platforms to set up websites, but the working in your business part is really where you don't want to have to rely on somebody else to be the talent. You don't want to rely on somebody else to show up on time for your business, right? Because nobody, and I do mean nobody's, is going to care about your business like you care about your business. And that's okay. But as long as you are the talent, let me put that. You must be the talent. Use must be the talent. It's only right. If you're not the talent, you're gonna man. I'm gonna tell this barbershop story to the day I die. But I wanted to start this barbershop, and I didn't know how to cut hair. I couldn't cut hair, and the amount of barbers I was just upset with because they wouldn't do it how I wanted them to do it was wild. And it wasn't even their fault, but I had this vision, and nobody else necessarily cared about that vision. That's to be expected. So all right, so you must be the talent. I'm like business, make it service based. And the reason why, even if it's service based, you can work on a service based business really at any time, right? You just got to make sure you have a client base to serve. So don't go and try to open up a restaurant. Don't go and try to start a car business to where you renting out fleets of cars. Like, keep your risk low. You know, worst case scenario, you just got to, that's at your service based business. You just got to get better at your service, right? But even still, if you market yourself correctly, people will give you an opportunity to, kind of learn on the job. They may not know you're a rookie, but they'll give you an opportunity to learn on the job. So, all right, so let's kind of get into it. So we down to 11 hours of the day, right? At this point, we've got 4 hours of sleep, and y'all can play with the 4 hours of sleep. That's just me, right? Like, if I don't got a lot of money, I'm going I'm gonna find more time, because you want to get your income up. Like, I promise you, when you got money, things hit a little bit different, right? Like, you're not as worried, you're not stressing as much. Now, you still won't, like, you gotta, like, we're gonna get into the budget side of it. That's another video, but you still gotta spend it, right? And so when it comes to the 4 hours, look, that's just because you trying to get things going, right? And so you once you take away those 4 hours of sleep, you got 20 hours left. And I'm assuming, again, everybody at least that is trying to start a business, you have a stable income, or you have a primary responsibility. So maybe you got a 9 to 5, you Uber driver, whatever the thing is that's gonna bring you that income. That's what you need to make sure does not slip at the time, right? Even if you're a homemaker, like, consistently do what you do from a homemaker standpoint, because even, my wife being a homemaker, it's like, you starting the business is cool, but let's make sure we still do the basics, right? Like, the breakfast you was making, the way you was cleaning the house, the way you was doing the laundry. Those things are important, right? You still want to show that, look, I'm starting this business, but I got it figured out on the main thing, right? And even if you from a husband standpoint, imagine you start this business and then you get fired from your main job, right? Like, we talking about something completely different at that point. So keep the main thing, right? Focus on ensuring that that thing is stable. And so I'm assuming that takes you at least 9 hours, right? So let's say you dedicate 9 hours towards that, you got 11 hours, right? Remaining. Now, this is the thing that's going to ultimately change your life, right? Like, this is investing into your future. So for 2 hours a day, what I'm typically doing on working on my business, I'm checking the website, making sure the website looks good. I'll go to my website, look at it and say, do I want to tweak that? Does that word make sense? But even if you're looking at the website, that's one thing. That's outside of the business. But let's assume you have some clients. You want to check in. You want to send your emails, right? You want to be able to send proposals. If you had meetings from the day before and you said you're gonna do something, you have to execute. You have to keep that relationship. You say, okay, because in most cases, if I have a meeting with somebody, I'm not gonna give them the exact numbers immediately. Assuming, like, let's say if you mowing lawns or washing cars, don't play with them. Give them the numbers, right? But if it's a larger project, I always say, let me run the numbers and then I'll get back to you, right? And so once you start looking at the numbers, you give them the feedback the following day. I'll even, like, when I first started, I was like, I'm gonna take the numbers. I'll give it to my admin, and then she'll send out the email. I didn't have an admin. I was doing the emails. I was doing the numbers. I was doing all that, but I didn't want to have to same day send the numbers. Now, in some cases, speed is everything. Like if you got to give them numbers the same day on site, whatever business you in, you may have to do that. But if you can, be strategic about how you do it, right? Because you can have the meeting, take a note, and then the following morning, assuming you do this before you go to your main job, you're able to send out the emails, right? You're able to send out the proposals, kind of get into a flow of things. Again, you want this to be routine. You want to be diligent about what you do, but website emails, and I like to see emails in the morning just to let them know I'm not playing, right? So hey, we talked yesterday. Let you know I'm following up. Let me know if you got any questions. Even if I sent the proposal on Monday, I'm following up on say Tuesday or Wednesday just to check back in. So those are what I'm doing from the first 2 hours, right? Send proposals, setting up meetings. Let me get that out the way. Setting up meetings, and then following up, right? So once you really get into things from a business and you got a nice flow of things, this 2 hours goes by quick, right? You're gonna wish you had more time to do this part because this is what's gonna grow your business. This is the thing that once you are able to sit down and do this in a structured format, this is what's going to start to build your actual leads, build your actual client base. Even like I'll put social. Obviously y'all see I'm not that great at social media, but this is where you would work on social media during this 2 hour block. So get that out of the way. But even if you take these 2 hours, you still got to actually do the work, right? It's cool to work on your business. You want to put your best foot forward. You want to be able to project somebody that is well polished and good and all that good stuff. But now you got to execute, right? So this 2 hours of set. I'll say this is setting the table. But down here, this is the execution. This is everything you set up here and you promise. You need to actually have time to execute on it, right? Because if you're not executing, people they're gonna catch on, and there ain't gonna be no business behind that. So, working in your business, this means execute. So let's say you're running a lawn care business. That means for 2 hours a day, you're trying to figure out how can I fill up that block with mowing lawns. You're not doing anything else. 2 hours a day, even if somebody call you, even if it's a client trying to get in touch with you, trying to set up a meeting. No, not for these 2 hours. You got to send them the voicemail. You got to be so focused on, for these 2 hours, I'm executing. Whatever the service is, if you braiding hair, if you cutting hair, if you are, again, mowing lawns, if you're in IT for 2 hours a day, you are setting up the expectation of being able to do those things, right? You're not doing nothing else but executing your business. So this is the actual providing the service. And ultimately, when you're doing all of these things, it's to get people slotted into these 2 hour blocks, right? And again, and that's how you see your business growing. If you look at it and you say, man, 2 hours ain't enough time. I can only wash one car for in that 2 hour block. That just means, okay, that's good. You got to find more ways to get additional hours. So don't too much worry, because even in this early, if you just starting your business, it may not be 2 hours. It may be 0 hours here, right? 0 hours of execution and then 4 hours of setting it up. It really depends. But what I'm saying is ultimately give yourself 4 hours to be able to execute and work on your business, work in your on your business and in your business. When you start working in your business, you're gonna have less time to work on your business, right? So this is CEO you, right? This is the executive working on the business, giving the strategy. And then this is the worker in you. This is the person that's, look, I'm rolling up my sleeves and I'm getting it. So when it comes to that, at least 2 hours, right? And then as your business starts to grow, you'll realize, hey, I need more hours. When I first started my IT security business, I have no customers, but I would wake up at the same time every day, like, okay, I'm gonna send in some proposals, I'm gonna send some emails, and I would do that until, and I would do it in the morning, but I would do it until Erica and the kids woke up, because once they woke up, they kind of, I didn't have no job at the time, so it was just like they just thought I was at home, like, bruh, man. So just figure out how you can execute. Like, once you get to this point, you executing more, you got more time, or you trying to find more time. That's a good thing. That's a good problem to have. All right, so let's do a quick run back. So 24-hour breakdown of starting your business. What I say is, for your bank account should determine how many hours of sleep. You gotta sleep, right? So make sure you get your sleep. That's good. If you only got $1,000 in your bank account, is extreme, I know. But 4 hours of sleep is where you want to be. And then take naps throughout the day. But the idea is you trying to get up and get to it. All right, so with 20 hours remaining, the next thing is you have to give your dedicated 9 hours. And it may be more, it may be less. I'm saying 9 hours just because that's how my 9 to 5 works, right? 9 hours. And then once you get that, now it's time for you to figure out how to use the remaining 11 hours. So let me check my math, because I'm like, let me check. All right, so that's 13. All right, yes, that's 11. All right, cool. So what I say is you should be given at least 4 hours to your business, right? If you can get more, get more. That's cool. All right, so at this point, you working on your business and you working in your business. So now you're down to 7 hours. All right, so we got 7 hours remaining. I think that was the same color. Yeah. All right. All right, so you got 7 hours remaining. Now, of these 7 hours, so for me, once I'm done working on my business, I gotta still give, like, I have to give time to my wife and kids. That's just the balance in me. Because even if you do all this and your family falling apart, that ain't a good look. All right, that's not where you want to be. So with the kids, and, like, realistically, if we being honest, this breakdown here is gonna be, it's gonna fluctuate, right? It's gonna be it's gonna be kids, wife, or else let's say spouse. Let's be politically correct. Spouse, and then others, right? So this is just kind of like, let's say, relationships, shops. So this is just the time you spending towards everything this ain't necessarily building your business, but it's giving you balance, right? You got to find out, if you're a business owner, if you work in your business, you need to find time on how to maintain balance. You got to be balanced, because if I didn't have a wife and kids, oh, I would definitely be working too much. I would definitely be working too much. Oh, and then also, see, and that's why you need some time to you need some health related things, right? So workout. See there, that's why I ain't forgot to put that on there, and I be forgetting to work out. So that's the problem. All right, so let me say this, like for working out, for eating right, I base this on the thing that's going to, like, if you going to be sleeping minimal hours, you need to make sure you fueling. I got it. Fueling your body correctly. That's eating the right things. That's taking the right dietary approach. And I honestly, this is the thing that I lack the most discipline in. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like if y'all looked at my businesses, if you looked at my bank account, you looked at my house, my family, you said, "Oh, he disciplined. He got it together." But if you looked at my health, you looked at how much I worked out, I got some places to improve, and I'm serious about trying to improve it. And so I'm gonna be transparent about that because I put this on here last. Some of y'all would have put that up there first, and that's cool. But I put it up there last, and so that shows you where it falls when it comes to my mentality. But we're gonna get it right. We definitely gonna get it right. So I would say health, like for me, working out wise, like my goal is to do 90 minutes a day. That's the goal. So let's put in there 90 minutes. Mm, let's put 2 hours for the sake of argument. For the sake of discussion, let's put in 2 hours, okay? Now we'll come back to that, but with the relationship aspect, if you got 7 hours left, like it's gonna look different, like every day. Like so, for example, on Tuesdays, that's Erica. Erica and I usually go out. We do some sort of date night, um, and just try to make sure we connected on a deeper level. That usually, I mean, usually if we go out, we out for 4 hours, 5 hours, like we really kicking it. So that would take up this entire block. So it's cool if you don't break it down all the way to be able to specify what you do. But like after I get off work, I want to see my kids. I want to play with them for a little bit. I got catch up with them, try to see, yo, how was y'all day? Okay, how y'all act at school? Did somebody get in trouble at school? Was somebody sad at school? Like I really gotta, and I got 5 kids, so I gotta connect with them all. So with this 7 hours, this is where you just gotta be. You gotta use your wisdom, because when it comes to, I would say, talking to my men right now, when it comes to building a business, you got to have the same energy that you're giving towards that business. You still got to give towards your family, because the ladies, man, hold on, I ain't gonna preach that, but the ladies, they see that, right? That intuition. It's been so many conversations where Erica had to come to me. It's like, look, you giving all your attention, all your time to your business, but what about me? What about me? And so over time, I've had to learn how to be able to balance it, but that's what keeps you grounded. So you got to make sure you give that level of thought, that level of intimacy that you give into your business. You still got to get that to your kids in your wife or your spouse. Now, to me, if you outside of the household, for me, you got to schedule time. I gotta have a planned meeting with you. Like if I'm going to if I'm talking to my mom, that's cool. If I'm talking to my sister, we pick on the phone. That's cool. That's just random. But if I'm never randomly going to hang out with somebody. That's got to be on the calendar from probably the week before or something where I've planned. I'm hanging out with a buddy of mine and we're gonna kick it on. Like I'm giving y'all an example, but I low key don't have no friends, right? But if I was gonna hang out with other people or go do other things, it's planned. Like I've got that on my calendar. We never randomly doing something. So keep that in mind. So let me put this health thing up here. This health thing. See, I'm telling y'all, that's the problem. That is the problem. I need to come back down about 30 pounds, 20 pounds. All right, so this health, this is, eating, working out, all that good stuff. Keep yourself together. Keep yourself looking good. Because I don't like doing business with people that just look stressed, right? Like, you got to look good. You want to look like this should be enjoyable. You building something that's going to be beneficial towards you down the road. that's yours, that you have complete ownership of. Like, so enjoy it, but make sure you're taking care of yourself. All right, so we got 2 hours. Let me put this in yellow. So yellow means that's we adding that to the bucket. All right, we got 5 hours remaining, and realistically, just figure out how to even. Oh, hold on, wait. See, I hear Eric in the back of my mind saying self-care, self-care. Yeah, so do self-care too, right? So whether it's you going to get your nails did, hair did, you going to, just go to a spa, whatever the case may be, just chill out. Take care of yourself. Self-care is important. So relationships, whether this is me, myself, and I, or this is, connecting with other people. But that's how you use these remaining 5 hours, even if it's just chilling. You got to figure out, how can I have the same level of energy on Monday that I got on Sunday, right? You don't want to get burnt out. Because that's how, like, honestly, that's how you catch up to the competition. That's how you lap them. Being consistent every day. Stop letting these jobs tell you when and when you don't work, right? Every day is a day that you're gonna grow and get better. So commit to that. Don't let anybody tell, even holidays, right? I tell myself when I'm off on holidays. I don't let nobody tell me when and when not to work. So all right, so that's the breakdown. Now let me show you do I have it already written out? I probably got it written somewhere. I'm gonna show y'all mine. Let me go to the next section here. I'm gonna do a little page breakdown, and I'm gonna show y'all legit how I do mines. I'll break the page. Ain't no way they moved it. All right, whatever. So we're gonna do Jamel's breakdown. All right, so let's start at let's start at. I'm gonna start at when I go to sleep. So all right, so I am in the bed at 10 p.m. Now, I say let's get in the bed at 10 p.m. Erica wants to turn on the TV at 10 p.m. So if you got a significant other, I guess that's just the way it works. Some people, somebody gonna be the sleeper at night, and some people gonna be the other spouse is gonna be the owl at night. I'm definitely not the owl. I can stay up, and honestly, when Erica and we met, I'll be up. But now I got, I'm trying to run this business. All right, so here's the crazy part. I go from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. I wake up every morning at 2 a.m. No, let me not lie. Almost every morning. If it's the weekend, I give myself some grace. So I come on here at 5, where I'm going live at 5. So I was up at like 3:30 today, right? But that's because I'm preparing for the show. And on weekends, it's not that much to prepare. Like, I'm doing this whiteboard session the whole time. But 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is sleep. And why is that? Like, I'm trying to get the most out of the actual day. Like, so let's go. That's sleep. Now, from 10 a.m. to 6 a.m., that's me working on the business. So I'm working on and so I run a few businesses, but up top where I said, 2 hours for working on, 2 hours for working in, I'm working on the business during this block, right? And then from 6 a.m., and this is just my breakdown. From 7:30, working in the business. And this is more so 7. Now, once it turns 7, I must like at 7 o'clock, people starting to wake up, right? And I'm on honestly, I'm helping the kids get ready for school. So this is like from 7 a.m. Let me go. I'm weird about being consistent, so y'all forgive me. All right, from 7 a.m. to let's say I go to 8 a.m. because I'm actually starting. Well, I will get there. We'll get there. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. I am. The kids is waking up. Erica. Well, so Erica, honestly, she been getting up early. And that's the thing, as men, once you set the tone for your household, people start following you, and that's the way it's supposed to be. All right, so Erica she been having me wake her up at 4 a.m. and she been doing her thing. But needless to say, at 7 a.m., this is some capacity of relationship, right? I'm interacting with my kids, making sure they good for the day, helping them get ready. At 8, I actually start my 9 to 5. So I do still got a 9 to 5, and I'm probably gonna have a 9 to 5 even when I'm a multi-millionaire, just because the idea of having that consistent income, like you want that, you want the benefits, and you won't always have to find a job that fits you and fits your time where you need it. Like if I had to go into the office, in which I don't, I work remotely, it would be a different thing, and I wouldn't do it. But find something that fits your actual lifestyle, right? So from 8 to 4, it's what did I call it up here? This is the main thing. This is the stable income, right? If you work at a gas station, this is your gas station job, stable income job, right? So you doing that from at least we're this is me personally, Jamel's breakdown. All right, so from 8 to 4, you are doing this. All right. Oh, sorry. This is realistically, because the thing is, I work on Eastern time. So let me live Central, but work on Eastern time. So really, let's just call this. Let's leave it as is. Let's leave it just like that. All right. So 8 to 4, and then once I get off at 4, me and Erica kick it for like an hour. So we catch up on her day. I'm asking, yo, how was the kids? How was your day? Oh, they did what? Like, so we chopping it up. Usually we drinking coffee, kind of just hanging. All right, so relationship. And at this point, look at how productive your day was. You've worked on your business. You worked in your business. You kept the lights on. You connected with your kids, connected with your wife. Now, once you get to the point, it's 5 o'clock. You got kids extracurricular. The kids are home from school, so you may have to take somebody to practice. And I would say, realistically, like if I'm being honest, like from 5 p.m. through not let's just round it up through 10 p.m. I'm showering, getting ready for the day, getting clothes out and all that, connecting with the kids, taking them to practices. So this is self-care, like all that. Yeah. So this is a relationship for sure. Relationship with self, relationship with kids, relationship with wife. All right. So let's see that breakdown. All right. So 4 hours there. We got 4 hours there. And during this time is when, like I said, I need to be better about it, but this is also where I get my workout in too. So workouts, really let's break it up because I don't want to give y'all no misconceptions here. So let me see. Because I try to make that the first thing I do when I wake up. Because if not, I won't do it. The problem with me not doing it is I'll look at my email first and then I'll go down the path. Oh, let me hurry up and do this before. And really, that's anxiety. Let's call it what it is. That's anxiety. So I need to work on that. But so 1 hour. Then we got 3 hours. And then we definitely working on the business, working in the business. Yep, we do that for sure, for sure. But that's more. Let's break it down. This more. And these how these Saturday sessions are gonna be. Ain't gonna be no bells and whistles because I don't got my team. But I'm coming to y'all every day. I'm pulling up every day. Gonna give you the work every day. All right, so 2 hours, 2 hours. Then, yep, sending the kids off to school, making sure we all good there. It's another 1 hour. All right, and then so then it's 9 to 5. This is technically 8 hours. Then between these two, this is 6 hours. So let's see how I'm spending my time with this. I didn't necessarily look at this beforehand, but let's see. So 4 hours of sleep. Yep, that's consistent. All right, 1 hour of working out. Let's see. Turned out turned out that wasn't consistent. So and I think like I said, like my lifestyle is indicative of me working out and not being consistent. So yeah, I believe that's I'm pretty inconsistent working out and I got to get better. Okay, now the working on your business and working in your business, I got that nailed down. I'ma show up. I'm gonna give myself those hours no matter what daily. I'm definitely gonna show up on that. And then so that's the 4 hours we hitting that. Now the relationship part is where I'm looking at that 1 hour here, 1 hours, 1 hour there, 5 hours here. And this is because I'm showering, eating dinner and stuff there too. But if you look at that, you can see we have 7 hours, and I'm pretty present with my family, so I think they would tell you, yeah. I mean, I'm giving them time for sure. So 7 hours, that's more than the 5 hours, which means I'm probably need to take away one of them hours and tuck it in here, right? Had that conversation. Look, I need this hour to be able to stay on my toes here. But all right, so then the stable income, yeah, I'm showing up for work like I show up for my other business because you got to keep the main thing the main thing. Make sure that you always keep the stable income going. But all right, so that's how I personally spend my 24 hours, and that's Monday through Friday. When it comes to Saturday and Sunday, it looks a little bit different. More time to do family things, more time to be able to connect um, with others or do some self-care stuff. But so this is a breakdown how to use your 24 hours. Again, these Saturday sessions are going to be a lot like that. As I continue to build out the show, find new concepts, I'm going to bring y'all value in the way that you can use it tangibly to to feed back into yourself and to start your and grow your business. So right now, feel free to get in contact with me in the comment section. And yeah, this has been fun for me. So see y'all tomorrow, same time. Feel free to reach out with any questions in the comment section, and then I'll catch y'all. All right, y'all be cool.